And now, Deborah Kobylt live.
Hi, Kurt. Thanks so much for that introduction. And thanks, everybody, for being here for Deborah Kobylt Live. I've got currently Zooming with me is a friend of mine, Suze Schwartz. She's the founder of UnPlug Meditation. Thank you for being here, Suze. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. And this is our second show, so I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, which means you're now a friend of the show. I'm going to mail you a little card. Friend of the show, Suze Schwartz. But what you do is so important. And I have to tell you, now more than ever, UnPlug Meditation. You've got two places here in LA, right? Which is so relaxing. Right. But for those who don't live in LA and those who need to understand, what is meditation? What does it do for me? And how can I get into it? Since this whole COVID-19, your business has really shifted, right? And pivoted because now the app is all the rage with you, right? Could you talk to us a little about that?
Well, overnight, we literally had to become like the Peloton of meditation. So we took all of our studio classes and we brought them all onto live Zooming. So we have about 9 classes every single day, and all of our members are still kind of meditating with us online there. But we also have an app where we were able to appeal to the entire world. So that's been really interesting.
Tell us about that. So you just download the app, right? It's really very simple, and you can just sort of hand pick and hand select, as you said. You're like the Peloton of for meditation. How does it work? Tell people.
I would say it's probably even better than that, because any mood or any feeling that you have that you want to shift in that moment, all you have to do is press a button, and in 10 minutes or less, you will shift. So for instance, they're modern day meditations led by over 75 of our world-renowned teachers. We get to work with the experts in the world. And for instance, if I'm ever feeling overwhelmed, there's a meditation for when you're overwhelmed. There's a meditation when you have stress, when you are anxious. If you want to lose weight, if you want to focus for 60-second superpower focus, you have everything that you could ever possibly imagine.
I think that's great. And you don't even have to rush there in your car. I mean, there are definitely, right, some real pluses and upsides to what's happened. You know, should we all have our health with us? That's most important. But that being the case, we've all learned how we can utilize what we've done and do it at home and make it private and quiet. Don't you think?
Yep. So I do a thing called meditation, which is something that I learned from David G, where I literally wake up in the morning, I click the UnPlug app, I meditate in bed for 10 minutes, and then I start my day.
How do you do that with kids around, especially little kids? They're like, Mom.
I have earbuds that I put into my ears. So that's what I use.
Answer for everything. See, people, you can do this, right? Yeah. This is what I'm saying. Well,
we made it so simple so that people would actually want to meditate, because so many people think that they can't meditate because they think too much or they have no time. So what we learned is that one is thinking is actually a part of meditation. You are going to think. Thoughts happen, and that happens a lot in meditation. And actually, the more you notice your mind wandering and choose to bring it back to the present moment, that's like doing a bicep curl for your brain. It's the greatest thing you could do.
Can I stop you? Can you explain it for a second? Because like, I love some of the sound baths. I think that's terrific. We'll get into that in a moment. But sometimes meditation, you're right. You know, I'm just going off in a whole nother lane and I'm thinking about stuff. I'm like, you're not supposed to be doing that. Come back. So that's part of it, that I'm talking to myself to come back to where I should be.
100%. So for instance, there's 3 things that happen in every single meditation. The first is that we pick a place of awareness, like our breath. The second is we let it go and we're in that sweet spot where we're totally present. And then the third, our mind wanders. We start thinking about dinner, or what we're doing later, what we just did, or emails. And then we notice we're no longer meditating, so we bring it back. Focus, let it go, mind wanders, bring it back. And the more you actually can notice your mind wandering, and the more that you choose to bring it back, that is where the magic happens. That's where you actually build some resilience and some grit.
I love that. I didn't realize that. I used to feel guilty, you know, as I'm laying there thinking about something else. I'm like, stop it. You're not supposed to do that. So that's good to know, right? So people don't, because I'm not alone, right? If I'm thinking it, somebody else might be thinking too. I love that. So, you know,
Deborah, imagine, like, for instance, you're in a conversation with someone and they stress you out and you just want to be like, stop saying that. You react, right? But when
Yeah.
you notice that someone's stressing you and you choose to bring yourself back to your breath where you slow it down, you then respond instead of react. And that is the superpower.
I'm glad you told me that, because to me, that's a superpower. And that's the reason why we meditate, because meditation it's sort of it's a word that can almost sound, it can, I don't even know the word I'm thinking about, but sometimes people get nervous when they think about meditating, but there's so much to it. For me, it works. And I learned this through you. Breath work. Yeah. Breath work will bring me back immediately. And I remember when you were on my show the first time, you brought me back. You said, come on, you want to do one right now? A really quick little breath work thing. You want to? Can you do that?
Oh, breath work. Like that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not.
No, just to keep it calm. Like you've got one where you do like for a few seconds or a minute.
15-second meditation. Yeah. So there are two kinds of meditations. When you say breath work, I think of the active breath work, which is one of the that we lead at UnPlug, where you're breathing really heavily. You're like, and they're loud and there's loud music. It's a whole different thing. But breathing technique, which is a great one, is the box breath, where you literally breathe in through your nose. Do you want to try it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Close your eyes. And think of actually something that causes you a little stress. And tell me when you have that thought.
It's right there.
Okay. So now I'd like you to redirect your attention to breathing in through your nose to the count of 4, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, and audible exhale out. Let's hear it. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. One more time. Breathe in through the nose for 4. Hold for 4. Audible exhale out for 4. And hold for 4. And open your eyes. Were you thinking about that stressful thought when we're counting and breathing?
No.
Yeah. So that is it's a technique I learned from David G. It's called the 16-second meditation. And he's taught it to military, to police officers. And basically what it does is it takes you out of your mind and thinking. And by counting and breathing and slowing down your breath, it calms you down.
Gosh, Susie, this is the kind of stuff that our kids need to learn and practice every day, starting with preschool. I mean, they learn how to read and write, but this has to be part of the curriculum, not just for 10 minutes during social time, but an actual class where it's part of your life, and they can carry it through not only the day, but their lives, because many of us learned it as adults. Let's get into that a little bit. How'd you get into all this? Because you were pretty much a high-pressured or high-powered person working in the magazine industry, right, in New York City, correct?
Yes. And what happened was I moved out to Los Angeles for my husband's job. And I was going back and forth between New York and LA. And my mother, I was so stressed out. And I said to my mother-in-law, I'm like freaking out. And she said, calm down. You need to breathe. And she taught me this little 3-minute exercise that completely changed my life. So at first I slowed down my breath, like the one that I just taught you. And then I closed my eyes and imagined myself in my happy place, which is Jamaica. And in those 3 minutes, I completely transformed. And that is what changed everything for me. I'm like, what was that? And she said, it's called meditation. And so I started to learn how to meditate. And I'm like, it's got to be simpler than that. Oh, that's a great chat.
Yeah, that's beautiful. But how do we keep it in our lives? I'm someone who will do it and then get out of it. I would say start every day with it, right? Don't you say that you start every single day, right? Every day.
I do practice. And that's the thing. It's very easy to fall off the wagon. And most people do. They start, they're consistent, they feel great. And then they start feeling so great that they stop meditating. So what I suggest is to RCM, which is called Rise, Click, Meditate. I wake up in the morning, I click the UnPlug app, and then I meditate for 10 minutes. That's it. Then I get out of bed. If I do not meditate before I get out of bed, you know what happens? Sometimes I skip my meditation. So people always say, when's the best time to meditate? And it is the morning time for a couple of reasons. One, primarily, because you actually do it. And the second reason why is because then you're able to slow down your day and be a little bit more intentional and proactive instead of being reactive.
And maybe just reach back and remember what you did in the morning and practice the really short version that you gave me and just carry it through the day. But you're right. I think if you start your day that way, do you end your day that way too?
Sometimes I do. I usually end my day with a gratitude practice where I place my hand on my
Hmm.
heart and I just kind of think about the things that I feel grateful for. And that always really helps me.
Wow. Do you all do this at home, like at the dinner table, and you're breathing and you've got your hand over your heart? I can't even imagine. What a peaceful home you must have.
No, I do it at nighttime before I
I
go
know.
to bed every night. But the thing is that I made my kids, all three of them, take the UnPlug Meditation Kids program, and they were
Oh,
fighting me on it. They really didn't want to do it. And the truth is that it did help them. It got in there. So now when they're really stressed, they all
I
know.
love it. Hey, let's talk about that a little bit. What is the Unplug Kids version of meditation? Let's talk about that because I didn't even realize you were doing that.
Oh, well, they're on the app. Actually, we used to have a kids program inside the studio, but none of
Hmm.
the kids wanted to do it, to be honest with you. All the parents
Right, right.
do it. And I'm like, why am I torturing these kids here when they can just do it at home? So they started the program at home, and now you have the best meditations, and you click a button. They're all like, for the little kids, they're all, I think, 5 minutes and under. And also for the teenagers, we have an entire section that we did with Test Prep, which is a private test prep company. And we did 21 different meditations to help you crush your ACTs and SATs and testing.
Okay, that's brilliant. And I'm sure that it helps these kids because they all go into this a nervous wreck while they're studying, while they're taking it. That's fantastic, Susie.
It
Did
helps with
not realize.
memory, focus, retention.
Hmm.
And by the way, stress is when you don't do well in your exams. You're freaking out and you don't do well, you don't make good decisions. But when you focus, you can actually make better decisions and have better answers. So
Yeah,
it really
focus, be prepared. I mean, you can't walk in there and not be prepared. You've got to, it's the whole package, right? But you're right. Once you're prepared and you can focus and you can breathe, that's a very valuable skill that you're teaching these kids. Let's talk a little bit about some of the corporate programs that you've got. You've got a bunch of virtual programs, and also I want to mention, because I don't want to forget, you've got a teacher training program going on too. So let's have at it.
Well, okay. So we have this app, which, as I mentioned before, is all over the country and all over the world. And
Unplug.
so it's an unplug. And so, for instance, Condé Nast Corporation reached out to us, and we ended up using them, and we teach live inside of their Zoom rooms. And they bought subscriptions for all of their employees as their turnkey health and wellness benefit, which is amazing.
Wow.
Now they meditate with us live via Zoom, and then they meditate with us on the app when we're not around, which is pretty incredible.
That's smart. It's reasonable. Come on. We'll talk
Yeah.
about that at the end. It's smart. It's reasonable. And it's more productive for the company. Because
Mhm.
if you have relaxed people, that's, you said it was Condé Nast who did that?
Well, Condé Nast is one of our companies that we work with. And then we do tons of corporates where we're going into everybody's Zoom room. So Google, ABC News, Disney, ClassPass. We've been doing a lot of corporates with the different programs that they do for ClassPass.
Wow.
And it's been a lot, and it's all been great, because the truth is we teach this really short 30-minute, everything you need to know about meditation. It's like the cliff notes of meditation, plus 4 tools that help you get happy quick, focus, and stop stress. Just like the stop stress one I just taught you.
I think that's incredible. What are the 5 or 3 main benefits when you meditate almost instantly when you do it? If you could just share.
Sure. Well, Sarah Lazar, who's a Harvard neuroscientist, did a study where she showed 25-year-olds whose brain were at peak, and then 50-year-olds whose brain were down here, because after you turn 25, your brain slowly starts to decline. So what she did was a test with the 50-year-olds, and she had them meditate every single day for 28 days for about 23 minutes. And what she found was by the end of that, their brain was at the same level as the 25-year-old.
I'll take that.
Literally, their memory grew, their executive decision making grew, their compassion grew, and their focus grew. And what shrunk was their stress and anxiety. And she shows the before and after MRIs of the brain. You can watch her TED Talk. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and you've told me about that, and I did. I literally like got off the phone, and I remember that. It's really a very brilliant, it's really important to actually watch that. That's terrific. Now, because of all this great work,
more too. I mean,
wait, say it again. Yeah, go ahead, keep going. So that's one.
There's so much more. I mean, that's a lot. But another big thing is that it really helps with your immunity, because what happens is stress can weaken your body. So
we talked about that too, right?
Yes,
I mean, because I'm dealing with like inflammation stuff, and it started, I think, because of a tremendous amount of stress that I was having in my life. You know, frankly, caring for older parents, and it was really took a lot out of me, a lot. Mm-hmm. And I think it wasn't happening at the moment, but it started happening later on. I'm thinking, what is going on with me? Bingo. So you're right.
So you have to check yourself for stress. I mean, stress can do a lot of harm to our bodies. So we really need to come up with a way to manage our stress. Mm-hmm. So I like to look at meditation almost like a stress management program. And for type A personalities like you and I, you know, we're overachievers. So for me, I always say I like to crush my anxiety and crush my goals, and it helps me with both of those things.
That's great. That's very smart.
Yeah.
You were invited to the Apple headquarters because of some of the entrepreneurial work that you've done. Can you talk to me a little bit about that? Because I thought that was like so cool. What did you do there?
It really was so cool, I have to say.
Yeah.
So we applied for the Apple Entrepreneur Camp, which is basically thousands and thousands of people apply for, and they only select a female founder and a female developer and 12 apps around the world. So we were their 6th program. And in this, we were able to go to Apple. It was a 9-day program where we literally worked on their campuses, in their offices, which looks like a huge spaceship. I don't know if you've ever seen the building. It's a big round glass. It's the largest office building in the entire world. And we got to meet all of the top people in the world who teach at Apple. So all of their evangelists for design, for analytics, for press, for development. And it was all of the mastermind of this woman named Esther Hare, who basically came up with an idea to help female entrepreneurs and female developers grow. And she sees it as a place where there just aren't enough of them.
So I love that. And obviously she's with Apple, Esther, right?
Oh yeah. She's like top. You can follow her.
Top. Yeah. I was just making sure. So she's still there. That's fantastic that she did that. So wow, that's quite an honor, Susie.
They helped us redesign our app, and we're about to launch the redesign in 2 weeks. So we took every single piece of advice that they gave us and we implemented it. So it is going to be just, I just saw the test flight right now. It's just going to be so smooth, so gorgeous. I'm so appreciative. It was, if anybody listening has an app and is a female founder with a female developer, please apply to this program. You will not regret it. It is phenomenal.
And it's the Apple.
It's called the Apple Entrepreneur Camp, and you can Google it.
That's pretty incredible. Let's talk a little bit about the, you have a challenge coming up, don't you?
Yes.
Talk to me about it.
It's called the RCM, which is the Rise, Click, Meditate Challenge. And Deborah, I want you to do it. Okay.
So when we hang up, I'm going to put this on my phone again, because I'm used to going there and I have to get reacclimated into the app, not just the classes, but the app. So, so go ahead, talk to me about it, because I really want to encourage people to do this.
It's really easy. Okay. Basically, all you have to do is you download the app and you sign up on unplug.com for the 7-day challenge. And you get an message in your inbox every morning with a positive quote and a meditation of the day that is to help you create a positive mindset. So whether it's a gratitude practice, an intention setting practice, a blessed, not stressed meditation, that's one of them that's in there. And you wake up, you do that, and then you start your day. And here's why you want to do it. It's because if you start your day by just getting out of bed and racing and doing, you're more likely to not have a great day. Instead, if you start your day with a positive mindset, intentional, you're going to achieve a little bit more, and you're going to have a nicer ripple out to other people. And your ripple really matters.
I want to encourage all people to do this everywhere, especially people listening who are listening from all walks of life, wherever you live. This is easy to do, and you don't need a lot of time, because there are single moms. I always think about the single moms out there who are working 2 and 3 jobs and barely have time to do anything, let alone even go to the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
You can almost bring a small meditation with you into the bathroom. I mean, you can do this, and it will start your day in a more chill way, and it's just healthier for you. So I also want to talk about, because I love this, the price of this.
Oh, the first 7 days are free. So anyone who signs up, it's free. And then it goes to like $7.99 a month.
$7.99 a month. You can't even get a sandwich for that, hardly. I mean, I just think, you could change your whole life for $7.99 a month, which is what I love. And anyone can do that. Anybody, and then you get a little thing in your box. And I love that. So it's a 7-day challenge though, right? Yeah. That's what this is.
7 days.
7 days starting this Friday.
Yes.
Okay. And then after that though, will you keep other challenges for people? Because I think,
So after that, if you love it, you can do the daily unplug. And the daily unplug is every single day. You get a positive quote and the meditation of the day.
And then also, if people want to sign up for classes, that's a little separate, right? Because you also have online classes, correct?
Mm-hmm. We have wow. It sounds like we have so much stuff. So yes,
you do.
We have Unplug Online, which is basically our studio classes are now available on Zoom every day. Just as you were able to walk into the studio, you're able to walk into the fake studio of someone's home on Zoom. So it feels really good to be able to meditate with the most unbelievable teachers in the world. And they're also talking to you in the chat box. So you can ask questions, you can connect with them, and you will walk out feeling 10 times better.
Did you always have that before this situation of COVID, the online classes? No. So this really was a total pivot for you.
It was. What happened was a couple of the members were sitting with me, and I decided to close before they told us to close, because I was sitting there wiping down the chairs and doing all the stuff and ringing the bell saying, okay, it's clean in there. And I knew we were just like one cough away from someone getting sick. And I'm like, I can't honestly do that. So I just shut it down. And the question is, when can we reopen? I have no idea. I mean, right?
Nobody knows. I mean, especially for something like this. But if you've got the app, it keeps us all going, right? Yeah. And so if you've got the classes you can take.
Keeps it alive. Yeah, the app and the live keep it alive.
Wow, that's exciting. So how have you been keeping yourself busy, Susie, other than like designing and doing all this for work? You got kids, you got a husband. What are you doing during this time of self-isolation? I mean, have you been getting out a little bit?
So every single day, I end my day with a walk with my husband. So at around 5:30 or 6, I'm like, I'm done. And I go with my kids or I'll go with my husband and we take a walk around the neighborhood. And that is just like a great way to transition from working to life. So, and my kids are in Zoom school right now. So they're on Zoom in school. So that's been a lot, just making sure that they're kind of getting everything done. So while they're in Zoom school, I'm working upstairs on my patio. And then, just like everybody else.
Just like everybody else. Yeah, we're making it do, as long as we're healthy, as long as we can stay healthy. I've been biking a lot because I'm just, because I need to do something. I can't just stay in the house. So, I have kind of a bum knee at the moment. So I'm just getting on a bike and going, and that's helped me. And I've been around nobody really, but I'm looking forward to when we can all see one another again. We don't know when that's really going to be, right? Yeah. But in the meantime, we have this beautiful app that we can download. And I'm going to ask people to, when we're done, please just download the app. $7 a month. First 7 days are free. So very, very easy to do. I really appreciate you being here. Do you want to end with a really short meditation like that we did earlier, or some breath work or something, so that I can end like that and almost go to sleep? Oh, wait, here's a funny story. The very first time I came, I remember I didn't know what to do. Remember, I had my cell phone. I was hiding it under my mat. It was the funniest experience. I since learned, but it's so peaceful in there. What's that? I didn't know what to do. Okay. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know, I was so wait, what? I mean, I really came a long way. I'm one of those people who needed to learn. And then once I realized, wow, this is amazing, I just left it out. But I was always afraid of falling asleep and maybe snoring or something. That was like always the thing. It was just sort of funny. My friends and I would kind of laugh about that a little bit because it's such a peaceful experience.
Right. And
it happens to a lot of us, right?
People fall asleep in meditation all the time, which is why sitting up is great. So when you sit up and you fall asleep, your neck goes like that. So it will wake you up.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
What happens. Okay, so here's my question before we start, Deborah. How would you like to feel at the end of this meditation?
For my body to feel relaxed, because I tell you, my body, as I said, I've got a little inflammation. It's struggling, and I'm now on this, and I'm working very, very hard, and I'm committed to making this, to helping myself and healing myself. So, which I guess would mean relaxed and peaceful. I mean, I already feel that way because you always put me that way. I could see you sitting in a crowded room, and I've been in a crowded room with you, and I just suddenly feel peaceful. You have that effect on me. But that's my goal.
Okay, got you. So let's begin by closing our eyes and taking a long, slow, deep breath in. And an audible exhale out, just release it. So one more time, long, slow, deep breath in. And an audible exhale out, release it. And on your next inhale, I want you to say silently to yourself, I am. And on your next exhale, silently to yourself, relaxed. And just do that 2 times. I am on the inhale. Your word on the exhale. And one more time. Letting it go. Placing your hands on your heart. Close your eyes. Keep them closed. And just ask yourself, what makes me feel peaceful? Just think of 3 things that make you feel peaceful. Maybe 3 things that you feel grateful for right now. And when you're ready, you can take another long, slow, deep breath in. Let it all go. And open your eyes.
If I can. I'm so relaxed. Happy. That's the word that came to mind. Remember you said on the exhale, have a word, and my word was I felt really happy, which is to me gratitude. I'm happy. I'm grateful to be with you. Honestly, I mean that. And I'm grateful to all have our health right now because there's so many people struggling. So I was really thinking about being happy, to have the people in my life. So thank you so much for that. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I meant it when I say, when I hang up, I'm getting the app on my phone. It's the first thing I'm going to do.
So I would UnPlug on the iTunes store, or go to unplug.com and you'll find everything there.
Yeah. And I'd like other people to join me. So when we're done here, everybody, unplug.com, or just, get it at the app store and join me for the challenge starting on Friday with Unplug and Susie and myself. It'll be a lot of fun. So you really put me in a great state. So thank you so much. You can come back anytime. We'll have you back next week. This is great. So I'll see you on Friday with the app. And everybody, I want to, again, thanks, Susie, for being here. Download the app. And thanks for being a part of our journey, too. You can find us on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, and anywhere that you get your audio podcasts, we will be there. Whether it's iHeart, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you'll find us. So thank you very much for tuning into Deborah Kobylt Live. Take a deep breath, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.